Hi, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Waymark. Today's episode is going to be on trying to improve the amount of money and interest you're getting on your cash. So, one of the things that I talk about a lot with clients and prospective clients is that financial planning should be free, or at least if there's a fee that's being charged for financial planning, that it is reduced by the financial planner introducing you to something that you may not have been introduced to on your own. And one of those things that I continuously see over and over and over with my clients is how many clients are just maintaining the status quo in a historically high interest rate environment. And what the way that that kind of manifests itself is they just keep large amounts of money in their checking account, even when they have a savings account available, even at the same bank that's paying, in some cases, 10 times what their checking account actually is. And so a very simple thing that, again, that we've mentioned to a number of clients is just, keep in your checking account what you need and move the rest to savings. Now, the other thing that I found is that, again, from a status quo standpoint, when it comes to banks, people are just really content with getting a pittance on their cash. And I guess it makes sense because, for the longest time, they've been earning 0.1, even 0.01% on their checking account. And now if they're earning even 1%, they think they're doing great. Well, what I'll show you in a moment is that the going interest rates are somewhere between 4 and 6%. So if you're under that, you're leaving money on the table. And I found with a number of my clients that they actually have, large sums of money in cash, sometimes over $100,000. And so, just real quick math here, for every interest rate increase we can introduce a client to, increases that the interest on that amount of, or that $100,000 by $1,000. So, again, a typical financial planning fee can be offset pretty dramatically by just this one piece of advice. And so I'm not here to recommend anything, and very, very big disclaimer here. Anytime you're making a change, whether it's moving from one bank to another, or one bank account to another bank account within the same bank, you always have to look at the fine print, because sometimes there are some teaser rates and things that you have to be aware of. So definitely ask the questions. But with that said, I do see way too many of my clients settling for subpar interest rates. And a very easy, simple way to figure out, are you getting what you should be getting on your cash, is just do a simple web search. So, here I just put in best checking accounts, and there's a number of sponsored ones. So you always want to take those with a grain of salt. So I usually go to the first thing that is not sponsored. And so typically Nerd Wallet and Bankrate are typically the ones that pop to the top when it comes to websites that kind of monitor the best interest rate checking accounts that are out there. And so let's stick with Bankrate, because consistently I've seen that they've done the best. And you can see that, SoFi is paying 0.5%. The rest of them are paying a pittance here, so not really all that much. But then when you shift to savings accounts, now you're starting to look at pretty big numbers, 4.5, 4.75, 5% at very big reputable banks. These aren't just your regular, credit unions. And truth be told, look at your credit union. I'm a very big fan of credit unions, so definitely take a look to see what they're paying. But 4 and 5% interest rates are not very uncommon these days. And then, one thing to take into consideration when it comes to money market rates, they can change any time. Whereas if you lock in a CD, for instance, and again, same website, this bankrate.com, you look at some of the interest rates on these CDs, and you're looking at 5+ or 4 and 5+%. And usually somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'd say, 9 to 15 months is the going rate. So the upside to a CD is that you're locking into this rate for a year or even a little bit more than a year. Whereas if the Fed, for instance, drops interest rates between now and that time, you're locked in regardless of where the checking and savings account rates have dropped to if the Fed drops interest rates. So definitely take a look at CDs. And then switching gears, you can look at things that are outside of banks. I know for some people that's really scary because in some cases you lose FDIC protection. But just for instance, with LPL, we have a number of money market funds that are just very similar to mutual funds, but they are invested in money markets, in money market investments, which are ultimately short-term bonds for all intents and purposes. I prefer personally investing in short-term U.S. Treasury bills because ultimately that money market fund is backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. And my argument is if the U.S. government fails and Treasuries default, well, I don't think the FDIC will be much help because that is a federal insurance program. So I would actually even argue that some of these money market funds are even a little bit more safe than bank funds because the bank would fail and then the FDIC picks it up. A bank is much more likely to fail than the entire United States government. So there are money market funds that you can buy through LPL. And the way that works is, let's say you have that $100,000, you transfer it to a brokerage account here at LPL. We invest it just like we'd invest in a money market fund. And within a day, it's invested in some cases, a 5+% money market fund. And again, some of these actually have some tax advantages because if the money market fund is comprised of U.S. Treasuries, then U.S. Treasuries do not charge state income tax. So obviously I'm a little biased here, but if you have money that is available and that you're not using, you could get a potentially 5+% interest rate as of August 22nd right now. And not pay state income tax on that interest. So very, very attractive there. And then if you really wanted to lock in a rate for a long period of time, because all these things that we're talking about right now, checking account obviously can change every day. Savings account change every day. Money market funds can change every day. And then CDs, one of the things we just talked about a moment ago, you're locked in for a year or so. But if you wanted to lock in these high interest rates even longer, you can go to treasurydirect.gov. And treasurydirect.gov is the place where you can buy directly Treasury bills, bonds, and notes. And when it comes to these bonds, you're looking at these are the types of securities that you'll be buying. Treasury bills are up to 1 year. Treasury notes are 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10 years. And then Treasury bonds are Treasury bonds that are 10+ years. And so when you look at Treasury notes, this is where some of the best bang for your buck is right now. And right now it's saying that the latest rate is 3.875. But again, the secondary market is actually saying that rate should be during the next auction over 4%. And you could lock that in for potentially 10 years, which means that even if the Fed drops interest rates, when you're locked in for 10 years, you're locked in for 10 years. So that's, again, I don't want to get too deep into this, but those are the things that are out there that are available. And I don't see enough of my clients fully participating in those. And they're just simply taking the interest that the bank is offering, which I think you're kind of leaving money on the table. And again, when it comes to me and Waymark and our fee, this is one place where I can very easily justify the fee that we're charging people. So that's all I got for this week. Thanks for listening. And again, check out your bank and see what you can do about increasing that interest rate. Talk to you soon.